It's the first Clasico of the season. It's Barcelona against Real Madrid. It's exclusive on ESPN Plus, and the preview show will start at 9 a.m. Eastern across ESPN 2 and ESPN Plus. Make sure you tune in early to catch all the build-up. But for now, we'll send it out to our team in Spain. Dan Thomas is with Sid Lowe, Pablo Zabaleta and Alejandro Moreno.
Thank you very much, Kay. How's about that for a view? It is the perfect evening here in Barcelona. The only blot on the landscape, really, is this lot.
Ow.
Sid Lowe, Pablo Zabaleta and Ali Moreno. We're, of course, here to look ahead to our Clasico, Ali. We just, of course, got here. What, was it yesterday we got here?
Yes, we did.
Feels like yesterday, and you can feel that buzz already in the city.
Yeah, and so you look at a team that played against Dinamo Kiev in Barcelona, and I think the fans here in Barcelona were looking for reasons to be excited about El Clasico, be optimistic, and feel like, you know what, this team is trending in the right direction. Off of the international break, a victory against Valencia, you're thinking, okay, here we go. And then you play Dinamo Kiev, and it was one of those matches in which, if you're a Barcelona fan, you're kind of like, we won, but we don't feel great.
Yeah.
And that's sort of what you get about Barcelona this year, is that you take a step forward, but then it feels like you take a couple of steps back. If you're Barcelona, here's another opportunity against Real Madrid at home, a team in Real Madrid that, yes, was dominant against Shakhtar, but they're vulnerable as well. They have their issues as well. Maybe this is the moment you turn the corner.
As always, with any Clasico, it feels, Sid, so many subplots.
Yes, it's easy for you to say. Yeah, I mean, there always are. There's always lots of themes surrounding it. Of course, this year, a lot of the focus has been on the fact that it's his first season in, 16 years without Messi. Not without Messi playing, because he's missed Clasicos before, but without him even being here. And that, of course, I think has cast light on a new generation of players coming through at Barcelona. And in terms of the Real Madrid players, I think it's cast light in particular on Benzema. The idea that if Messi has gone, who is the new face of La Liga, or the face of Real Madrid, who is the new best player in the world? And of course, it's a big campaign at the moment to push Benzema towards the Ballon d'Or. And I think that's one of the many subplots, whether Benzema maybe has the, if you like, imagine Benzema is in kind of campaign mode at the moment. Yep. This is his last big rally, his last big chance to try and convince people that, yes, over 2021, he has been a sufficiently strong candidate to maybe win the Ballon d'Or.
Julien Laurent is very much his propaganda manager,
yes,
by the way. And what was interesting in an interview that Jules did with Benzema, I asked him about this game, and he goes, it still, for me, is the biggest in the world, because it's still Real Madrid against Barcelona. It is still one of the biggest rivalries, and it's still one of the best venues, of course, in football.
Oh, massive game. I think no matter what team you support, it's just, it's always a much game to watch, because, always exciting game between both teams. Especially, I have to say, after COVID. I think so many people have been waiting for so long, this kind of game, especially Barcelona fans. They already play some of the games at a stadium, but this is against Real Madrid, the biggest rivals. And I think, it's one of those games that you cannot miss.
What sort of game are we expecting? You were saying beforehand, you think there's going to be a lot of goals, mainly because no one could defend.
No, but offensively, when you look at, Benzema, he's in a great form. Vinicius, I think, against Shakhtar, been absolutely fantastic. Then the return of Ansu Fati against Valencia, I think, was, really good news for Barcelona. He's been one of the best players in that game. I will expect goals. I say 3-3. That was my prediction. I'm very optimistic. Optimistic.
0-0.
Write it. 0-0. Sign, seal, deliver.
Come on. Defensively, both teams really struggling at the moment.
Obviously, this is only, the third game back in which the Camp Nou could be at capacity. We've seen these previous two matches, the one against Valencia, the Champions League game midweek. It was almost 50,000. So we're at half full. Are we expecting a full house this time round?
Not 100%, but I think we'll be quite close. I think we'll be north of 70,000. I think one of the things that's happened in this return to football and this return to stadiums being opening, and we're looking at fans not going back in some cases, particularly in Barcelona's case, but I think it's a broader question, and it's a question about some fans still being concerned about COVID, some fans actually not knowing the mechanism now to get tickets because they've been so long away, some season ticket holders who didn't renew because they didn't necessarily think that this season would be a season with tickets. So I think when we look, for example, at the Champions League game in midweek, and we look at the Camp Nou not being full, and it's easy to go, well, that's because they're all disillusioned with Barcelona.
Right.
There's an element of that, but it's not quite as simple as that. This is being replicated at lots of grounds across Spain, and I think partly it's mechanical.
What's interesting, Ali, is the relationship between the Barcelona fans and the team at the moment. We've spoken to people out here in the city, and they're disillusioned with everything, of course, that happened over the summer.
Yeah, and no better example of that than us watching the game against Dynamo Kiev. We're sitting in a bar. All right, here we go. Barcelona fans all over the place, and it was so quiet.
Yeah.
They're watching the game, and it's almost they're sitting on their hands. And are we supposed to support this team? Are we supposed to boo this team? We don't quite know what to do because we get excited with Ansu Fati, and we get excited with Gavi, and whenever Pedri's on the field, we get excited about him too. But we're not excited about Luke de Jong, and we're not excited about Ronald Koeman. We're not excited the direction of this club, and we don't quite know what is it that we're supposed to cheer for. And so even when the game is going on and they're creating a chance here, they didn't create many chances, but the times that they did create some opportunities, it was almost like, okay, forget it. Let's go back to our beers and our conversations. There isn't that sort of engagement with the team. I think these fans are waiting to engage with the group, but they don't know what group they're engaging with.
I think it's worth pointing something out, actually, that within the stadium, I think some fans have become, those who are going, I think have become aware of their role. So I think they've become aware of the vulnerability of the team and taken it upon themselves. Okay, our job now is to support them. So inside the stadium, the games where the fans have been there seems to have been a desire to say, we play a part here.
Right.
We know this isn't great. We know that there's a reality that's inescapable. And Koeman has said lots of times, that famous phrase now, es lo que hay, it is what it is. and that idea that, okay, so we now help these guys through, not least, of course, because that other element that's really important, I think, in that whole, what would you call it, mental process, is that this is a young team. So they look at Gavi, they look at Nico, they look at Ansu. Obviously, Ansu's slightly different because he's been so good for a year and a half despite the injury. And I think they look at them and go, these guys could be good. And maybe we can be part of the reason that carries them to that level that we believe they can eventually reach.
The concern would be, from a Barcelona perspective, is that if Real Madrid score early in this game, how much do the crowd then keep that role, or how much do they turn on the team? And the big question is then, how much would that affect you as a player on the pitch?
No, that's especially at the Camp Nou against Real Madrid. If you concede, earlier goal against Real Madrid, then, sometimes the fans just turn very quickly. And Barcelona players, because of the situation, they can be in trouble. But I think just Sid mentioned some of those players that probably they choose getting some games for Barcelona, like Gavi, Pedri, Ansu Fati. They're good, but they don't have the experience of Piqué or Busquets or Jordi Alba that probably they can bring those young lads together and say, listen, stay calm, should keep playing. We still got minutes to score goals, but always at the Camp Nou, if you concede a goal, especially against Real Madrid, could be very dangerous.
And the problem is the recent history of Barcelona against the best teams. So when you consider what they did against Bayern Munich in Champions League, they did not even belong. What they did against Atletico Madrid, it didn't seem like it was even competitive. And so you're looking for, if you're a Barcelona fan, for reasons to say, okay, yes, to believe we're going to win this game. If there's an early goal by Real Madrid, all those reasons that you're hoping to see kind of disappear. And then you go into the doubts of, do we really belong, and are we still competitive? And if you look at those matches that I just mentioned, well, the answer is no. But I still think that you can be competitive against Real Madrid because, as I just mentioned, Real Madrid has their own flaws as well. This is an opportunity. If I'm a Barcelona player, I'm a Barcelona fan, I'm thinking of this as an opportunity to really kind of take a step forward and really think of ourselves as still a contender within La Liga. If it doesn't go that way, then it's confirmation of what we already knew, and that is Barcelona has some real issues.
Thanks so much for watching ESPN on YouTube. And for more sports highlights and analysis, be sure to download the ESPN app. And for premium content and live streaming, subscribe to ESPN Plus.